Hi everybody, it's Delilah here. I just wanted to share with you an alternative to meal prep. This is actually for a close family member. They are needing some help with portion control, and also they're eating on a budget. So what they had decided to do this week was to do a pot of beans. And so I actually told them about how I've been prepping in mason jars, and I offered to help them out and divvy all this up so that it's all in portion controlled sizes. So she actually made the beans, and it has, I think she put some onions in them, and then the beans had like a ham flavoring packet with them. They're pinto beans. And so she made the beans in her Instapot, and then gave me a bag of rice, and I actually made the rice in my Instapot. And how I made the rice was I took a 32-ounce container of beef bone broth, and instead of putting water in it, I actually just used that for the ratio and put it in my Instapot and hit the rice setting and let it do its thing. So each of these tin mason jars has half a cup of beans. I did strain out the liquid of the beans, but I kept the liquid. You'll see here at the end I actually add some of it back in. I just wanted to make sure that each serving was the same, so I didn't want it to have more liquid than anything else. So I strained the beans, put a half a cup serving of beans in each jar, and then a half a cup of rice. When you combine rice and beans, that does create I can't even think of the word now, a complete protein. Sorry about that, complete protein. So if you aren't counting, and beans are a complex carbohydrate, so it's, if you're not doing low carb, this is pretty healthy as far as balanced nutrition goes. So here I'm adding in 3 tablespoons of the bean juice back into it so that it keeps its moisture. But like I said, I just wanted to make sure each cup had the same amount of beans and rice, and so I took the liquid out. After I put in these 3 tablespoons of liquid, then I start to put the cornbread on top of it. Now, I actually had bought for this project, I had bought wide mouth mason jars, but when it was time to divvy all this out, they hadn't gone through any type of washing or sanitizing or anything, so I just used the regular mason jars that I had, not thinking that these cornbread muffins I made in my muffin tin, they were going to be bigger than the mouth of the jar. So I did have to kind of smush them in there. However, if I had used the wide mouth mason jars, then it would have been fine, and they would have just sat right there on top, really pretty. But whatever, it's it's all working together. I mean, you're gonna crumble the that in the beans and rice probably anyway. So I did put like a tinfoil cupcake liner on it, because I just didn't want it to get soggy. It's one thing for it to soak up juice when you're eating it, but you just don't want it to do that ahead of time. So I'm just trying to create a barrier, and I was going to use tinfoil, but then I remembered that I had these cupcake liners, and I'm like, oh, they're tinfoil, this will be perfect. So that's what I did. I just put each one of them has a half a cup of beans, half a cup of rice, 3 tablespoons of that bean juice that's left over from the beans, and then a piece of cornbread. And I did make buttermilk cornbread, and I didn't have any of it because obviously I can't have that many carbs, but it smells delicious and it's fluffy, and I bet it tastes delicious too. I'm sure it does. And so once you put the lid on, how cute is that?